Is it okay? It's okay. Hello. I'm just gonna go over. I played one game today. I'll go over it. I won, so I can. Luckily, I don't have to go over something that I lost. I'm white, and my opponent's like 1600 and something. And I looked him up. There weren't many games online that I could see. I saw that he played Sicilian most of the time. Sometimes he played E5. And I'd seen this, a delayed Alapin, where it had gone like this. And I was like, oh man, I have no idea what I'm doing. So I assumed, you know what, if I play the Alapin, is he gonna, and he did, he did the same thing. So it was really lucky I looked it up before. And I saw he's gonna play knight there, and I saw that the best move is bishop c4. And since he hasn't got any of these out, there's a kind of a threat here, and that's how you use this threat to push this, right? So, and that's why you played that, to stop my knight. Yeah. I actually blunder here and play rook over. And given that this guy plays this opening all the time, I really think he should have capitalized here, because he can take and play this. And the computer's like, you gotta take with the knight. Ah, that's clever, because if you take here, anyway, you get this, which is apparently good for black. Well, these are kind of stuck, although this sucks. But I'd have thought he probably should have known that. But he lets me get d4 in without hassle. And now I'm doing great. So he plays this, and I'm thinking, okay, this bishop sucks. I know this sucks. Maybe he'd want to move the knight into here and bring it out. He's probably going to play this. So I was like, I'm just going to stop that, because in my first game of the tournament, letting him play this really messed with me. Like, obviously, the computer very rarely is going to say play h3 at this point, but screw the computer. I need to play it because I don't know how to deal with it. Here you attack my bishop, and I don't really know why, to be honest. I play bishop back, and he just goes back there. So he's used a turn to make me come here, and it's not that much of a worse position. So I thought already now I'm feeling like slightly confident that this is going well. So I just continued developing pieces. Queen out there, which stumped me. I wasn't really sure what he was doing, but I was thinking it's actually just one of the few. He's just getting his queen out, and I thought for a long time, I thought maybe it was to like help push here or something. Maybe I did push here. I did a lot of calculation with push here, and it gets complicated. But I thought, hey, I can have give a free kick to this screen. I debated for ages about playing that or this. I remember thinking, okay, this does two things, and this does two things. The two things, it develops my knight with, and helping the middle, and it connects my rook and queen. This is preparing to push the queen away, and it's stopping the knight coming here to harass my bishop. I thought, okay, they're both doing two things. Whatever. He plays rook over, meaning that his queen's got one less square to go back to. And I was about to pick up this pawn and play here, and then I saw, oh, he's got knight takes, and then I can't take back. So I play this. But after looking later, he can't take the pawn because you play bishop here, and I don't know what his best move is here. What is it? D5, and you just maybe you attack it again or something. I don't know. But you win the piece. But I didn't play that. His knight has to go back. Finally develop my knight. He plays, preparing this, he plays rook back to f8. So at the minute, right, he's played this knight out here, back and back. Rook castles here, here. He's lost so much time. So I kick the queen, and that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, okay, I must be miles ahead here. There's just no way that I'm not, given that he's had to send his knight back. His rook's back there. Pretty good control of the middle. All my pieces are out. He can't move this. This bishop hasn't got. He can only come here. This knight can only come here or here. And even if he does come out here, he's got nowhere to go. But I didn't have a clue what to play. I'm thinking along the lines of get my rooks on this file. What I only thought about this later, was actually my worst piece is probably this knight. It's useful if he gets a knight here, but I don't think he is gonna. So I think one of the suggested moves is like this knight here are both suggested, all rook over, queen there. These are all moves. That was the other thing. It's just like a really nice position. Basically anything is good. I play that. It's not massively fond of it, but it's not bad. This I didn't want him to play this and then my knight never have the chance to go there. If he played this, I just thought it was a bit cramping. I don't know if it was a good move or not. So I think this is him getting ready to like bring his bishop out here or something. You can see he's really struggling to get his pieces out. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to play rook in. He's getting ready to play f5. I play knight here. And so there is like a trick here. So I can take the bishop and then take this bishop. And the computer says just play it now. But I didn't like how after takes, he could take this pawn. But apparently it just loses a knight. But I didn't see that. So I played this, which is really not great. He then sees what I'm up to and takes the pawn instead of pushing it. But it also like opens up his rook size. And at this point I was thinking like I've messed this up. I had such a good position. But it was a bit pessimistic of me because he's still, look at they're all on the back rank still. He's got knight here and that stops all this nonsense. But it does weaken stuff around here. This is a double attack. I thought at the time, I thought it was attacking this and threatening queen here, hitting the rook. And if he moves the rook, I take the bishop, but then I realized after I played it that he could just go rook there, and I don't have, it was nothing. So he played knight out, and I was like, damn, okay, yeah, my plan didn't work. And then I realized, actually, I've got a really good move here, which is knight there. So it's a triple attack against that pawn, and threatening the knight fork on this square. And if he takes my bishop first, I can get the knight in. He has to move his queen, just take, and then the rook's hit. He can move it somewhere. Wherever he moves it, I've got a fork on here. So that's why that in my head didn't work. So he played that, defending the fork thing, and I just took the pawn. He can't take with the knight because of mate, so he has to play king over, and I just go bishop back here, threatening a fork, winning the exchange, so he has to go king back. And now at this point I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm calculating like, okay, if I go queen up over, am I threatening anything? Could I check and then king back and then check? And I think I could. In my head, the knight was blocking on this square, but I didn't see it working, even though I'm pretty sure it does. But it's also quite slow. Like by the time I do this, he plays something. He plays something. I thought maybe it's not working. So I'm just like, right, I'll just go. I've got these two pieces not doing anything. I'm just going to play rook up and over. His pieces are really hard to move right now. Like he can't get this knight out because I fork him. This rook can't move anywhere. The queen is defending this and can't move anywhere. I guess he could move that, but then it allows pushy things. So I was like, I'm just going to slowly improve. And then he played knight here, which is like really bad. I can just take it, and then if he takes here, I can just take the bishop, and this is mate. So he can't take my, well, he can take my knight, but he can't take the bishop. So it's just losing a piece, but it also loses immediately to this, because he can't, because of this, and obviously king over mate. I just flipped the board. So that's where he resigned, and that's why I'm in a good mood. GG's.